Okay, we're gonna return back to the previous live stream. Um, so as I was saying, I dug into this book, The Jesus Fallacy, and found it to be excellent, excellent research. And his talk on the Shroud of Turin is really fascinating, very enjoyable, and I feel like he has really solved the mystery that many people have tried to solve. He does very thorough research, and so I highly recommend his book. But in terms of the comparative religion, I'm also reading um, Jesus from Out of Space, which is by Richard Carrier, PhD, and he did his PhD thesis, got published by an academic press on challenging the historicity of Jesus. So this is again excellent comparative religion analysis. And then also recommend this book, God, an Anatomy, and she has a PhD in biblical archaeology, and she's just a really great British Greek writer. So it's just another very fascinating book because she gets into like Sumerian mythology and the whole older context of Christianity. And then we have Professor Paula Fredrickson, Ancient Christianity is the First 500 Years. So again, another excellent comparative analysis on just the very different views of Christianity in its early formation. And very similarly, we have this book, Jesus Christ and the Other Sons of God, Heresy, Catherine Nixie, another professor in England. And she was raised by religious parents. And so she kind of like rebelled and became a classicist to study her religion. And so I wanted to make sure to get the English, the UK publication of this book because I just thought it was better. You know, it's the original edition and has a better book title and everything. So, yeah, I mean, the recent assassination of the Democratic farmer labor leader in Minnesota was somebody that was friends with somebody I helped out, active in the political scene at the Capitol, and but the person who did the assassination had been trained in some kind of Christian cult that was part of the Christian identity movement, and so this is the big problem: is if you don't do a comparative analysis of Christianity, then it's easy to get caught up in one of these like narrow-minded racist hate groups that this guy was trained at, and of course the school that trained him is try to disown him, but there's people who know the larger context of this kind of like charismatic evangelical Christian identity movement, which I had not really been aware of, but I guess it's comes out of England, where they use the Bible to try to justify the slavery and racism and that kind of thing, and it just shows how religion can easily be used to justify this like most extreme hatred, as we just witnessed, as we're witnessing now in the U.S. Like fascism is basically a religion. I even wrote a paper on that my first year of college, comparing the Catholic Church collaboration with the Nazis in Germany, and um, you can trace it back to Martin Luther and the anti-Semitism, and that actually goes out of Platonic philosophy, and that's what my 2012 book goes into. I have a whole chapter on anti-Semitism and how it's structurally a part of Western science due to this wrong symmetric logic of the commutative geometry, creating like a circular tautology. Anyway, so I will post a link to my 2012 book if people want to check that out in detail. Um, Here we go. Put this in the video description. Thank you for your interest, and I hope you are enjoying your various summer reading books. I don't of course read as much as I used to. That's used to be all that I would do is read a scholarly book a day in while I worked part time. Did that for 10 years, and now I just read like on occasion while I'm on the internet or mowing lawns or growing mushrooms or helping out my mom. So and doing meditation and all that. So um it's pretty much all I want to do is go over all these awesome um comparative religion books. And then this one, and then this one. And I would be remiss not to mention Achara S. or D.M. Murdoch, Dorothy M. Murdoch, and she's somebody I corresponded with a little bit. And I even deleted my whole blog once because of her, because she was upset about something I had posted, and I'm like, fine, you know. She's like, you didn't have to delete your whole blog. But my point was just like I wasn't like attached to my views, because that's sort of my religious view is more of an existentialist approach to religion, like Kierkegaard. Or anyway, she was a um, pioneer of the resurgence of mythicist research that's now an academic niche with Dr. Richard Carrier and Nicholas Peter Leigh Allen and Francesca Stavrakopoulos. Anyway, these people are interviewed on the History Valley YouTube channel, and there's another one that's like Myth Vision, I think it's called. Um, yeah, so it's kind of fascinating area to research, and um, just try to keep an open mind. Like the Qigong master I trained with, he goes to church every Sunday, and then his teaching assistant actually gave me his Bible that he used for his Qigong training. Qigong master Jim Nance. Oops, there we go. Okay, thanks for your time. If you got any questions or comments, I'll give you a chance to ask a question or comment, and I can be happy to respond in the chat or via the chat if you want. Okay, I will end this stream, and yeah, basically what I find is that a lot of people that get PhDs, they're too specialized, so they don't know a lot about other scientific disciplines, even though they consider themselves a scientist. And so my specialty has always been this kind of like interdisciplinary approach using music as a metaphysical foundation for studying philosophy of science. And yeah, so it's allows me to have like a broad approach to science, and comparative religion is a great field for that area analysis. I just had a paper that I posted on the academia channel, critiquing psychology and psychiatry, promoting Gary Greenberg's debunking of the DSM, um, that's used by psychiatry and all that. And so, I try to write on a wide range of topics, and maybe I'll write a paper soon on this comparative religion research I've been doing. And that's pretty much it.